Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome to Energize to Rise. It is Tuesday, which is different than our normal Monday broadcast because yesterday was a holiday and I had a speaking event all day. So here we are on Tuesday, energizing your top priority for the week so that you can move forward, you can rise up, and you can have those breakthroughs that you want. And this week, we're going to identify what your top priority is for the week, but then give you some ideas for using your creativity energy to become a release valve for the pressure that can sometimes prevent you from actually going after that top priority. Now, before we jump in, let's really just get grounded on why we're here. So when we start to become aware of our flow and our energetic way we're showing up in the world, it starts to create momentum in how we're showing up for ourselves. That awareness is key. And by doing this every single Monday and by tapping into my flow formula, it really will help you to create that awareness around your habits, around the things that you're doing that are both driving you forward and potentially blocking your momentum and your progress on the things that you want, whether it's a huge goal, whether it's a project at work, whether it's something you want to do for your personal health or wellness. It doesn't matter what it is. The flow formula helps you drive that forward. So for those of you that are new, welcome. I'm Kristen Brown. I'm a certified speaking professional, one of only 400 in the world. And I'm also a consultant on energetics in the workplace and on your personal energetics as well. I use the flow formula. It's researched, it's proven, it can be used in really any situation to create momentum and forward flow on what it is that you want. So I'll just review it quickly for those of you who are new, for those that you've seen it before. It's always good to review it. So vision energy is knowing what you want, whether it's by the end of today or 50 years from now. Having that vision energy clear is critical because it helps you determine what steps you're going to take, how your plan is going to come together, which leads to strategy energy. And strategy energy is the plan. It's saying, how am I going to make my vision real? The people, the tools, the resources, the skills, all the things that you have to mobilize and pull together to make that vision real. Once you have your vision and your strategy energies turned on, then communication energy is really what will drive it out into the world. You have to authentically communicate what it is that you want for your vision and your strategy to others in a way that they can get on board with you and that you can honor that they're not in the same place on the journey as you. They may not know why your vision and strategy are important. They don't come from that same place of creation and ideation that you may have had on your path to create that vision and strategy. So you have to ensure that you're really being honoring and respecting the other people around you that you have to communicate with to make something happen. Because oftentimes, as I've said before, people aren't like you. They don't like you. You don't like them. So you have to still be able to communicate authentically and respectfully. Once you're communicating out your plan, then your relationship energy becomes critical. It's all about surrounding yourself with the right people, ensuring that you have boundaries around the energy vampire so that when you get triggered or pulled down in your day from your path, that you have tools and skills and the ability to energetically bounce back and keep moving forward no matter what is pulling on you. So those relationships are critical. We also have confidence energy, and that is tapping into your own superpowers to say, you know what, here's what I want, here's my vision and my plan, and I have the goods, I have the skills, I have the tools, I have the awesomeness inside of me to actually make it happen. Creativity is having fun in the process. It becomes like your release valve. That's what we're going to talk about today to drive your priority forward this week. And then motivation energy is how do you kick yourself in the butt and keep moving forward on your intentions, even when you're pulled by the squirrels and the fires and all the things that happen to come up. So that is the flow formula. They work together to create, like I said, that momentum that needs to push you and pull you forward on any goal or project or decision or anything that you want to have happen in your life or in your work. Now, last week, we talked about vision energy. So let's check in there. We identified not just how you want your life and work to look and include in the future, your vision for it, but also how you want to feel in that future vision for yourself. Because feelings are what really are going to drive that ability to motivate yourself, to get excited, to stay engaged in the process, even when life is busy. So give yourself a little check-in and say, hey, how did I do on my priority last week? Did I stay true to my vision? Did I think about how I wanted my feelings to evolve as I grow into this vision that I have for myself? And then ask yourself, did I stay on track with my number one priority last week? If you did, great. You're starting to get into this energetic flow that we're working on every single week. If not, ask yourself why, because when you can start to see the patterns of what pulls you from your path and your process, that is when you will really start to feel shifts in your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. Because once you start creating empowerment within yourself, it changes the way physiologically you're functioning so that you're more clear in your thinking and you're more focused, so that you have more physical energy. And that's really what we're going for here, is to create we're on a roller coaster ride of life, right? But we want to create a steady momentum forward and a steady rise up in the roller coaster ride that we're on. So that was your check-in on last week for Vision Energy. Now, when you think about this week, let's think about your big picture, your big vision, but then let's think small as well. What are the things that you know you need to get done this week? And if there was one thing you had to identify, one priority, that if you got that done by Friday, it would feel so, so good. It would give you those warm fuzzies. It would give you those good vibes. It would give you all of that inner empowerment that I just mentioned to motivate you to keep moving forward with the next priority and the next step and the next goal. So ask yourself, what is that one thing that you want to get done this week by Friday? Note it down. I want you to take that number one priority this week and write it down somewhere, because when you write it down, it moves from maybe just an idea that I could maybe conveniently push out of my mind to something that's actually on your list. That's something that you want to commit to. So put it down on a list right at the top, somewhere big, maybe even like a separate Post-it note that you have, so that that's the one thing that can drive you forward through this week. Now, I want to give you an energy hack, as always, to help you drive this one priority forward. And this week, I want to focus on creativity energy, because creativity energy is really that release valve. When things are hard, when you're stressed out, when you've got a million things on your to-do list, it's the fun stuff that allows all that pressure to be released. It gives you the time for your body to recharge and reset, to fill back up with endorphins and those feel-good chemicals that help to cancel out the cortisol and the adrenaline that can build up during high stress and high burnout and high pressure times. So we have to be sure that we're, rather than powering through when you're stressed or overwhelmed or have too much to do, that you're taking those little breaks to let your body reset, because that'll allow your brain to reset and go back to what you're doing with fresh eyes, fresh focus, renewed energy, and renewed momentum on what it is that you want to do. Now, I really discovered that this was so, so critical back late 2017. I was really making some strides in my speaking career. I had crossed through that barrier of 4 to 5 figure speaker fees. I had really gotten some really amazing clients, but I was in that state where I felt like I didn't want to lose the momentum. So I was powering through, hustling, working, selling all the time. And I remember laying in my hotel room in Washington, D.C. I was there for a really high pay, high end company meeting. And I laid there in my bed and I didn't want to go down and do it. I was so burnt out. I did not like my topic. I didn't like how I was showing up. I didn't like my stories. I was just out of my zone. I was out of my own vibe. And I said, I need to switch things up. I need to fix things. Financially, I was doing well. I was doing well as far as momentum was going for business. So I knew I needed to step back and take care of myself and do more fun things. I hadn't been doing fun things at all. So I started to do more staycations, weekends away, little vacations. I started to have more fun, to take more naps, to take more breaks. I started to go to a movie once every single week by myself with a bucket of popcorn, triple layer butter, lots of salt, no one to talk in my ear and tell me how it's a heart attack in a bucket. I know, but it's good. It's one of my guilty pleasures, is extra buttery popcorn. And as I started to build in that personal fun again, I started to enjoy work again. And in fact, I started to find that when I was doing the fun stuff, that's always when the emails would come in saying, hey, we want to book you. Hey, are you available for this date? Hey, contract signed. Hey, invoice paid. I was on a boat in Cabo on a yacht with a couple of girlfriends that we had rented for the day. And remember looking at my phone, and I had gotten a huge, huge contract signed while I was laying on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And that really was a lesson to me that it's okay to feel multiple things at once and do multiple things at once, as long as you're building that creativity and that passion and that fun into your life, because that is when you're going to be able to recharge and show up back to what you need to do with that fresh energy. So here's what we're going to do this week. for your energy hack, I want you to think about the things that you love to do just for you. And I actually have a list that I made because I went to a retreat about that same time when I was really burnt out and I was just needing some sort of release. And she made us write down as many things as possible as she could that we love to do just for ourselves. So here's my list, handwritten. I have the world's worst handwriting, but I've held on to this for, almost 10 years, 8 years, however many. But here's my list. I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's like 60 things on here, but she just had us just think of anything we enjoy doing. Movies, reading, writing, reflecting, podcasts, business strategy, beauty and skincare, time with my partner, board games, puzzles, gardening, cross-country skiing, learn to scuba dive, concerts, going to plays and musicals, tennis, anything near the ocean, learn to knit, up-level my Spanish skills, travel with my partner, visioning, eating, health and wellness research, interior design, dogs, boating, hiking, sporting events, going to restaurants, organizing, learn the ukulele, learn how to juggle, winery tours, sitting in silence. That was on my list. Vision boarding, board games, painting, happy hours, naps, live music, card games, yard games, food, sightseeing, retreats, meditating. There's some repeats on there and some kind of themes in there that you can see. But the purpose of that list is that I still have it somewhere that I can refer to it all the time. And it tells me, okay, I have 5 minutes today. What can I go do from this list? So my energy hack for you is to go, and if you see me speak, you maybe have done this exercise. This is your love it list of things that you love to do. Write down as many as you can. When I do it on stage, we do it for 1 minute and we do it as a contest. But for this exercise this week, I just want you to exhaustively think about, what did you like to do as a kid? What would you like to learn to do? What do you love to do now? And then have it handy so that you can say, all right, I've got 5 minutes today. I've got a half hour today. I've got a full day to myself this weekend. I'm going somewhere with my partner. What are some things that we can do to ensure that we're bringing true fun into this? And then ask your kids, ask your coworkers, ask your partner, ask your friends, what are their things? Because maybe there's things you've never considered doing together. Pardon me. So live stream risk. All right, so that's your energy hack. Now, if you want to learn about your energies and find out where your energies are flowing, go take the 7 Energies assessment. It's just right on my website, KristenBrownPresents.com, right at the top. And we always want to know your momentum mantra for the week. Excuse me. It's that dry coldness starting in Minnesota. Your momentum mantra is, fun is my release. Fueling happiness and productivity. Fun is my release. Fueling, happiness and productivity. So you can only laugh when something like this happens, right? But that is what we're going to go for this week. Fun, creativity, passion, and go out there and energize to rise, because that's really what's going to drive you forward with your priority. So I will see you next week. Make sure you're checking in throughout the week with my article tomorrow. Sorry. I can only laugh, right? And with your momentum mantra that I'll post more about on Thursday. So energize to rise. Thanks for being here with me. See you next week.